What's up, everyone? This is Craig with Weeping Willow Guitar Lessons. I've got a great track for you today, the classic Blue Sky by the Allman Brothers Band. Alright, this song was written by Dickey Betts for his then-girlfriend, Sandy Blue Sky Wabagi Jig. Hope I pronounced that correctly. Anyways, great song. It's got everything, some great playing, the twin harmony parts that the Allman Brothers became famous for. This is one of the last tracks that Duane played on. It features some killer playing by him, some great stuff by Dickey. Before we get started, a quick note about this. The version I'm going off of is the one from E to Peach, and it's in the key of E. And then later on, when the Allman Brothers would play this live with Dickey Betts, like on Live An Evening with the Allman Brothers Band or anything you can find on YouTube, they switched it to the key of G. And I'm guessing that's because Dickey Betts sang on this one. Actually, it was the first Allman Brothers song that featured him on vocals. And I'm just guessing that the key of G was more comfortable for his vocal range. But then post-Dickey Allman Brothers incarnations, they moved this back to the key of E. So that's the key I'm going to show it to you. So grab your guitar and let's get started. Alright, so one more thing. This lesson is I'm going to show you the intro, the main theme, the verse, the chorus, the twin harmony parts, and then in the next lesson we'll take a look at Duane's solo, the first guitar solo, and then in the last one we'll take a look at the second guitar solo, Dickey's guitar solo. So grab your guitar and let's get started. And if you like this video and my other videos, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share this video. Alright, let's get going. Alright, let's take a look at the intro. The main melody is based out of the E major pentatonic scale, so let's start there. We're going to start on the 7th fret of the 5th string, E, then the 9th fret of the 5th string, 11th fret of the 5th string, then on the 4th fret, 9, 11, then 9, 11 on the 3rd string, then we'll go up to the 13th fret of the 3rd string, 12 to 14 on the 2nd string, and then 12 to 14 on the 1st string. And let's go ahead and grab that 16th fret of the 1st string. So we have Alright, that shape is very important, but let's also take a look at playing 9/12 on the second string and 9/12 on the first string, so we can play. Alright, ideally you want to learn the E major pentatonic scale everywhere on the neck, but learning that first will get you started. Alright, we start out like this. Alright, so what we have there is the E, 7th fret of the 5th string, then 9, slide to 11 on the 5th string, then 9, 11 on the 4th string, and 9 on the 3rd string. So far we have, and play that 11th fret of the 4th string, that C sharp, staccato. And then we're going to slide from the 11th fret to the 13th on the 3rd string. Then 12, 14 on the 2nd string. And again we're going to play that 14th fret, C sharp, staccato. And then slide into the 12th fret on the 1st string. Then we're going to play the 14th fret of the 2nd string, do a grace note, quick slide from the 13th fret to the 11th fret of the 3rd string, and then 9th fret of the 3rd string. Then we're going to play that 9th fret 2 more times, pull off from 11 to 9, and then 11th fret of the 4th string. Alright, that's the first time. The second time we do the same thing, but instead of, we're just going to land on that 9th fret, that E in the 3rd string, and hang out there. So we have first time, alright, then we have this. So what I'm doing there is I'm playing the open E string, and against that I'm sliding the 7th fret of the 3rd string to the 9th fret of the 3rd string, then playing the open E, 7th fret of the 3rd string with the open E, 6th fret, back to 7th. So we have high E, then 7th fret of the 3rd string, and then back to high E. So we have, then we're going to go down to part of an A chord. We have the 3rd and the 5th of an A chord. So we can play the 6th fret of the 3rd string. You don't have to play the 5th fret of the 2nd string because you're playing the open E, but you can double up that note. And then we're going to play that. And then we have open E, 6th fret of the 3rd string, open E again. And notice I'm doing this hybrid picking, so I'm using pick and fingers. Then I'm landing on 4th fret of the 3rd string, 5th fret of the 2nd string, open E string. Alright, from the top. Alright, then an alternate way I play that is sliding from the 7th frets of the 3rd and 2nd string up to the 9th frets of the 3rd and 2nd string. Then the 7th frets of the 3rd and 2nd string. Then the 6th fret of the 3rd string, 5th fret of the 2nd string. So we have, then we're going to make a D triad. So 7th fret of the 3rd string, 7th fret of the 2nd string, and 5th fret of the 1st string. Then I make an A triad, 6th fret of the 3rd string, 5th fret to the 2nd and 1st string, then an E chord. You can either play that up here or down there, it doesn't matter. So we have then I kind of change it up each time, but just come up with something you like. Alright, the chords to the intro, we start off on an E chord for half a bar, then an A chord, then we're going to do A, some kind of A sus. You can either take your finger off the, have that open 2nd string, or you can move it up to the 3rd string. Back to E. Just some movement there, so we have do that again. E, A, back to E. Then we have E, D, A, and then E. Alright, the chords for the verse are going to go, we have a half a bar of E, and a half a bar of B, half a bar of A, back to E, then B, then we stay on an A for 2 bars, then E, B, A. Alright, so it doesn't matter what kind of strumming pattern you do here, but if you want to download the transcription off my blog, you can follow that, but basically just come up with something that fits the part. So we have Alright, then for the 2nd verse we go E, so it's all the same, but instead of going B to A the 2nd time, you just stay on that A chord. Alright, so during the verse, the guitar just plays some fills, some very country-esque fills played out of the E major pentatonic scale. Let's take a look at what some of those fills look like. So if we go ahead and set up our fingers, so we have our index finger on the 9th fret of the 3rd string, pinky on the 12th fret of the 2nd string, then ring finger on the 11th fret of the 3rd string. We can do this where we keep that B, and then we're going to bend the F sharp or the 11th fret of the 2nd or 3rd string up a whole step. Release it, and then play that 9th fret of the 3rd string, 12th fret of the 2nd string. Then we're going to play 9/11 on the 4th string, 9th fret of the 3rd string, and then do that bend again. So we have so those are the fills going on in the 1st verse. And then we get our first harmony part. So the first guitar goes like this. So what we have there is the 11th fret of the 3rd string, bent up a whole step. Then we release, 9th fret of the 3rd string, 11th fret of the 4th string, 9th fret of the 4th string, 11th fret of the 5th string. Then on the 5th string we have 9, 11, 7. 7/9 on the 6th string, 7/7 on the first or 5th string. Alright, fills on the second verse are similar. We're going to do this 6th interval, which is the 7th frets of the 4th and 2nd string, and slide that up to the 9th fret. Then we go back to our bend. And this time we have the 9th fret of the 2nd string, 12th fret of the 1st string. So we play those two strings twice. Pull off the 11th fret to the 9th fret of the 3rd string. Hit the strings muted, and then 9, 12 again. So we have, and then back to our bend. Alright, now we have our second harmony part, which I'll show you the harmony in just a moment. But the first guitar goes like this. So we're walking up the E major pentatonic scale, but then adding an A note in there, the 12th fret of the 5th string. So we have 7, 9, 11, 12, 11, all on the 5th string. Then slide 9 to 11 on the 4th string, 9 on the 3rd string, 9 on the 2nd string, 10, 12, bend the 12th fret up a whole step, 12, 9 on the 2nd string, then 11 on the 3rd string. So it sounds like this all together. Then that 11th fret comes on the first chord of the chorus, so let me play it with that. Alright, let's take a look at the harmony parts. Alright, so the first harmony part goes like this. So we're going to bend the 10th fret up a whole step on the 2nd string, release it, 9th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret all on the 2nd string, followed by the 6th fret of the 3rd string, then 4th fret, 6th fret, 2nd on the 3rd string, then 2, 4 on the 4th string, and then the 2nd fret 3 times on the 3rd string. Alright, now the harmony part 2. Alright, we start on the 2nd fret to the 4th fret of the 5th string, then the 2nd fret of the 4th string, 4th fret of the 4th string, 2nd fret of the 4th string, then 4, slide up to the 6th fret of the 4th string, so we have, then 4th fret of the 3rd string, and then on the 2nd string we're going to play 5, 7, 9, then bend that up a half step, 9, 7, and then we're landing on the 8th fret of the 3rd string for that first chord of the chorus, which is a B. So we have, alright, let's take a look at the chorus. So the chords for the chorus go B for half a bar, A, half a bar, E. So we have back to A, then we have B, A, E, A, then we have a bar of 2, 4 on A, and then we're going to play F sharp minor 7. So we're barring the 2nd fret all the way down, then we're going to play the 4th fret of the 5th string. Or if you want to do that jazz voicing. So we have Alright, so again, one of the guitars is going to play fills out of the E major pentatonic scale over the chorus chords. So we're going to start with this, the bends that we had. Then we're going to go the 12th fret of the 2nd string, 11 pull off 9 on the 3rd, muted 4th string, 12th fret of the 1st string, then a quick bend, 11th fret up a whole step back down, or you can do a pre-bend, but we have, so it sounds like this. Then we're going to bend that 11th fret up a step and a half, then a whole step, so we have, followed by the 9th fret of the 3rd string. Then our last fill is going to sound like this. Alright, so all those fills are very country sounding and all right out of the E major pentatonic scale. Alright, for the guitar solo, the chords alternate between an E and an A. And you can add the sus in each of those chords. So we have E for a bar, then A. After the first guitar solo, Duane comes in and hits at the melody line, and then after playing it twice by himself, he moves up and plays the higher harmony, and Dickey comes in and joins, playing the part that he was just playing. Duane's done with his guitar solo, and he starts playing this line. Alright, so what we have there is 11 slide to 13 on the 3rd string. Then we're going to play 12th fret of the 2nd string. So we have the 3rd of an E, 5th of an E. Then 12 to 14 on the 2nd string, 13 on the 3rd. Then 12th fret of the 1st string, 14 pull off 12 on the 2nd. 13 slide down to the 11th on the 3rd, 9 on the 3rd, 11 on the 4th, 9 on the 3rd. Then we're going to hammer on 9 to 11 on the 3rd, bend that up a whole step, then 9th fret on the 3rd string, so we have repeat the 9th fret a couple times, then pull off 11 to 9 on the 4th string, and play that a couple times. So we have, then we repeat the first part, first measure as is, and the second time he goes, so that's the 11th fret of the 3rd string, bend that up a step and a half, then a full step, followed by the 9th fret of the 3rd string. Play the 9th fret 3 times, 11th 11 to 9 pull off on the 3rd string, then 11 to 9 on the 4th string. Alright, now Duane slides up. So what we have there is, so we're sliding up to the 18th fret of the 3rd string, then 17th fret on the 2nd, 7 hammer on 19, 16, 17 pull off 16 on the 1st string, 19, 17 on the 2nd, 18 on the 3rd, then 17 hammer on 19 on the 2nd. So then we go down to the 14th fret with our index finger, 2nd string, then 14, hammer on to 17 on the 2nd string, 14th fret of the 3rd string. Then we're going to play 14, 16 on the 3rd, 14, 17 pull off 14 on the 2nd, and then 16 on the 3rd. So we have slide up and do that first measure again the same. And then the second time we just stop after we get to that 14th fret of the 3rd string. So alright, and then Dickey harmonizes that with this. So what we have there is 11, slide to 13 on the 3rd string, 12th fret of the 2nd string twice, then 12 hammer on to 14 on the 2nd string, 13th fret of the 3rd string, then we have the 12th fret of the 1st string, 14 pull off 12 on the 2nd, 13 slide down to the 11th on the 3rd, 9th fret of the 3rd, then 11th fret of the 4th. Then we're going to play the 11th fret of the 3rd string, again followed by the 9th fret of the 2nd string, then the 11th fret of the 4th. Then 9, 11 on the 4th string, then 9 4 times on the 3rd string. Repeat that first measure as is. Then the 11th fret, 3rd string again, 9th fret on the 2nd, then we land on that 11th fret of the 4th string and hold there. So we have alright, now here's the harmony part after the second guitar solo, Dickey's guitar solo. He starts playing this line right here. And then Duane comes in and locks in with the harmony part. So we start off on the 9th fret of the 3rd string, so 9 to 11, then 9, 10 pull off 9 on the 2nd, 11, 9, 11 on the 3rd, 9, 10, 9 on the 2nd, then the 11th fret of the 3rd string, 9th fret on the 2nd, 11 pull off 9 on the 3rd, and 11th fret of the 4th. Then on the 4th string, 9 to 11, 9, 11, 9 on the 3rd, 11, 9, 11 on the 4th, 9, 11, 9 on the 3rd, then the 11th fret of the 4th, 9th on the 3rd, 11 pull off 9 on the 4th, then then 11th fret of the 4th. Alright, so as you can see, that line is very similar, just moved down a set of strings. So it should be pretty easy to get under your fingers. I'm going to play the whole thing. Alright, so Dickey does that 2 full times, and then the third time he gets all the way to the beat 4 of the second measure and plays this figure. Alright, so we play the first measure full. So we do the first measure the same way. Then the second measure we go. Then we play a triplet figure. This is an A major arpeggio or triad. So we have A, 12th fret of the 5th string, 11th fret of the 4th string, 9th fret of the 3rd string. Then we bend the 11th fret on the 3rd string up a whole step, release it, 9th fret of the 3rd string, 11th fret of the 4th string, 9th fret on the 4th string, slide down to the 6th fret, then 4th fret, 6th fret, and 2nd fret all on the 4th string. Alright, so I'm going to play it that last time, the third time. And all together it sounds like this. Alright, and while Dickey's doing that, Duane comes in and harmonizes it. Starts on the 9th fret of the 4th string and plays. So that's almost exactly what Dickey does in the second measure, but instead of going back to that 11th fret of the 4th string, we go down to the 11th fret of the 5th string. So we have. Then we end it with. So the 11th fret of the 4th string, 9th fret to the 3rd and 2nd, then we bend that 10th fret of the 2nd string up a whole step, release it, 9th fret of the 2nd string, 11th fret of the 3rd, 9th fret of the 3rd, slide down to the 6th, then 4,